part 3 of What If Deku Had a Genderbend Quirk. So basically, this we left off straight after they duped out fuck, I don't remember. Zuko is the boy. I might just say boy and girl, god damn it, but Zuko's the boy and Deku's the girl. Alright, now with that being said, after the big skirmish and the big hands that were being thrown and all this big body shit happening, pretty much, long story short, paramedics and stuff came to check up on the students, check up on everyone. And then, long story short, even though I said that already, they eventually got back to the school after, having a good dub, but a lot of commotion happened. So the principal was talking to them and it's like, what is going on? And, the heroes are, cautious and, kind of on edge, while Aizawa was like, I'll expel these two right now for using their quirks. And then Aizawa was like, not Aizawa, but Netsu was like, hold up, little homie. Use the abilities y'all were using or powers. And they proceed to project some of the energy outward. Aizawa, use your quirk on them now. And then he uses his quirk. Of course, with some reluctant, like, I don't see what this is gonna prove on some shit, right? And so after that happened, right, he realized something, like he's not canceling out their abilities. So they technically didn't really break no rules. You know what I'm saying? Due to the fact that it's not being it's not a quirk, so there's nothing that can go wrong or anything that will happen or can happen. You follow what I'm saying? So now we would go to the following next bit of the bit of this chapter, right, where they would basically just be like, all right, so what's up? What happens now? We could say they're on like grounded probation, or they gotta stay at the campus to be monitored to make sure nothing like this happens, and thus they make a dorm for these individuals. And since they're technically the same being, they just make like a dorm with them being in the same dorm. Okay, it's like there's no reason for this not to happen. Or like y'all kind of are technically like the same person, not same person. So they didn't think it'd be necessary to expend any extra, materials. So one half is Deku's and the other half is Zuko's. So they do their small bickering back and forth, but eventually they come around and be like, yeah, we vibing, we're chilling, like on some shit, like they good to go. And not much would really happen. It just pretty much school life goes back to normal ever so briefly. And then they would talk about, this is where we would introduce the sports festival. It would be, queuing time for it. And everybody would be training, everybody would be getting ready, and everybody would be getting hyped for it. Now we'll go ahead and fast forward to it. And when the test, it starts off and everyone blitzes off. Todoroki tries to do their ice, but Izuku, Deku, they look at each other and just like they know what's about to happen. So as they're running, they blitz past the ice, and Bakugo blitzes past it after blowing it up while they're basically leaping ahead in Todoroki. So they start throwing hands, and once again, these two motherfuckers are very strong. So they're just throwing hands while they're like running, and also they're like dodging the mines at the same time while fighting and running all at the same time. Todoroki and Bakugo sees this and they're like, oh hell no. So they start like, looking at each other, and then they just Bakugo probably be like, all right, look, Icy Hot. I want to win myself, but you can see those two monsters up ahead of us. I don't think we're gonna be able to get out of this unscathed. And I'm gonna say Todoroki eventually got over his whole reluctantness to use his flame side. And so it's like, look, I think we're gonna need to work together. Simply put, I can throw you at him, or it'll be some type of combo. I can throw you at him, and then once I get in the lead, I'll make sure they don't get any further while you catch back up. Or you could freeze them, and then we'll fight for the first place. And then Todoroki's like, freezing, bobbing, and weaving and shit. And he's saying, how do I know you're not gonna just take the first place for yourself? And Bakugo would retort like, "What do you take me for?" Like basically, it's like, "You take me for some Reiki." He's like, "Oh, don't get me wrong. I want to take this all scot free, but if I'm being realistic, I don't think I'm gonna be able to take them on, solely by myself." And then Bakugo would have like a brief flashback about all the times he tried to bully Deku or tried to do some shit because he was like a cross-dressing freak, this, and that, right? And he always remembered he would always lose. Like, even if it was passively, the arguments he lost. The brief times that I got physical, he lost. So he's not humbled, but he got a little respect, if you know what I mean. All right. So Todoroki eventually agrees, and before they even start, Deku and Zuko just stop and look at him. They're like, huh? Before they even could continue their attempt, they're like, look at each other. And this actually gets weird because they'll grab each other and then they proceed to like start hugging each other. And they're like, wait, is this instant? And before they could even say this, a blur of light appears. And then but the second that happens, they defuse. So that shit would work. Interesting. They fist bump each other. And then they're like, well, I guess we're tied for first. They look at each other. I mean, they don't look at each other. They look at Bakugo and Todoroki. It's like, y'all better make up your mind on who's coming first. And then, Deku, she's like walking out. I'll let you have first place. I want to go play with him a little bit. Izuku looking at her. You sadistic bitch. Yeah, you got that one. I'm walking. I'm comfortable right here. He crosses his legs, starts to float a little bit, proceeds to meditate. And he's just watching her go back out there, but like she blitzes at them. Bam! Punches Bakugo. Oh, that feels nice. Oh, that felt nice. She looks at Todoroki. And like she speed bits him, grabs him by the chin. Is like, I can see why some girls fan over you, but you're not really my type. She grabs him by the face and just flips him down to the ground. And then like when he ricochets back up, she just propels him backwards, send him flying back. And then both of them are back while all these other people, and then she laughs. Her muscles start to bulge up ever so slightly, and then she yells, "No!" So basically, what she did was just release a mass Kion, or just a sharp amount of energy being released, right? And so at the second that shit happened, it's boom, everybody got pushed back. And then, some people that didn't get hit by the explosions originally that were able to avoid it, and the ice coming up, basically a lot of people got damaged or injured or something. And then she just laughed, and then walked back. And then anytime someone did try to like make a quick break for it, she would just like jaw them. So everybody she just had an army of people behind her. And her sadistic smile with that weird female walk they like to do with their hips. She's just doing that, laughing maniacally as Bakugo and Todoroki are desperately trying to fight. Everyone else almost pretty much gave up. They're just Bakugo, Todoroki working together, trying their hardest. She's beating down on Bakugo while she's like beating on Todoroki. A little bit lighter, but he's still getting the work too. And then she drags them by their feet. And she's like, I got something even better. She grabs Bakugo, whispers, "You're weak." Throws Todoroki, hops through herself. Oh yeah. And then Izuku's just looking like, yeah, she a menace to society. Yeah, that is a straight menace. That got nothing to do with me. Then, the first place, third place, and all that shit comes to fruition and shit, right? But the thing that happens here differently, well, I guess we'll save that for the next part. If anyone does like this, and comment and, subscribe.